In today's lesson, I'm going to teach you 8 essential rock licks. Now, these are all quite simple ideas, but once you've mastered them, you'll find yourself using them all the time in your solos or when you're improvising, because they're very effective and very versatile. You'll also find, whenever you learn any classic rock solos, these ideas come up all the time. So this is going to be awesome practice, and it will really, really pay off if you learn these properly and get them memorized. So what you'll notice about these first 4 licks is that they all use kind of a variation of the same idea. Which is something that I use all the time when I play rock songs. Basically, we're going to be bending fret 14 on the G string up a tone. So if you listen to, you can check that you're bending enough if you go up 2 frets from that 14. So playing 16 on the G string and making sure we're matching that note. Okay, that's basically where you want to bend to. And you'll notice as well that this isn't a bend that comes back down. You just bend upwards, and then you're going to bar the top 2 strings on fret 12, okay, and you're going to play them one after the other. So this always works in rock music. It's a really, really cool idea. So let's put those 3 notes together. You've got the bend, and then you've got straight after the B string and the high E string on fret 12, and we're going to do that twice in a row like this. And now this first lick is going to end with another bend. I would use the same 2 fingers, okay? So third finger on fret 15, and second finger can just go behind that on the same string. You're going to push up a full bend. Again, when I say a full bend, you can go up 2 frets, listen to that note that we're aiming for, and then bend up to that note. Okay, so the whole lick is going to be this. So I told you these licks use a variation of the same idea, because this next one is extremely similar. It starts exactly the same, but this time, instead of bending the 15th fret on the B string, you're going to bend the 15th fret on the high E string. So yet again, we're aiming for this note here, up 2 frets. You've got to push a bit harder to get there though. But let's put that on the end, and let's try lick 2. Lick 3 is going to just add a little bit of flair into this idea. We're still starting with the same idea, bending on fret 14 and then hitting the top 2 strings on 12. But then before the bend, we're actually going to do a quick pull off from 15 to 12 on the B string. Okay, and you can either do that with your 3rd finger to your 1st or your 4th finger, whatever your preference is, either works, but it's going to start with this. And then you bend yet again on fret 15 of the B string. So you can see that that little pull off there just adds a little bit of flair to it and varies it up even more. Lick 4 is an idea I use all the time, especially if I'm playing a punk rock song. This sounds really good in that style of music, that kind of thing. Where you're actually, instead of bending that same 14 on the G string and hitting the individual strings, you're going to hold your finger across those 2 strings and do a double stop, which means hit both of those top 2 strings at the same time. So you end up with this. Really, really effective lick. Then after that, we're going to bar, again, either with your 3rd or 4th finger. I choose to do with my 4th here. We're going to bar the 15th fret and hit the top 2 strings. And then just come back to those 2 12s again. So you've got this. So you'll notice these next 4 licks introduce a new idea, another idea that's used all the time in rock. It's where we're going to actually be bending up and then releasing the bend back down and then pulling off your finger. So in total, and I'll do it in more detail soon, but it's going to be this. Used all the time, okay, in this style of music. And you'll notice I'm just picking once there. Bending up and down and pulling off. So it's a very, very common idea that's used in these next 4 licks. Another cool idea about this next lick though, lick 5, is going to be the fact that when we bend the 14th fret yet again on that G string, this time we're actually going to hold down the 12th fret of the B string. So you're going to pick both of those strings and bend. That's another really cool idea, because what you'll notice is you're actually bending this note, which is an A note, up to a B note, but you're actually holding down a B note with your first finger as well on the B string. So that ends up giving us this really cool sound where both the notes become the same note. And yeah, that's just another thing you can add into your guitar vocabulary almost. So we're going to do that, and then once you've done that bend, you play 2 extra 12s on the B string. So you end up with this. And we're going to do that twice. Okay, so that's how the lick starts, and then we got that idea. We're going to push the 14 yet again up to that B note and back. So this time, yeah, releasing the bend, letting it come back down. And as soon as you come back down, you're going to pull that 3rd finger downwards. So the 12 on the G string comes through like this. I recommend doing this, if you've never done this before, doing it very slowly. Up, down, pull off. And because your fingers will need to take a while to get used to this. But once you've nailed that, you can use this all the time. And once we've done that on this lick, it goes straight down onto the 14th fret of the D string. So let's put the whole lick together. We're going to start this lick with the bar on the top 2 strings with your first finger on fret 12. Some people choose not to on a lick like this, and that's fine. You don't have to. I just find it a bit more comfortable to do it this way. We're going to hit the high E string. And okay, I would do an upstroke here just to make it flow a little better. Go up. And then you're going to put your 4th finger or your 3rd finger. Again, I choose to use my 4th because that's what I'm comfortable with. On fret 15 of the B string. And then as soon as we play that though, with a down pick, you're going to pull it off onto that 12. So those first 3 notes. Okay, so that's going to be, after a while you can speed that up, but I'd say take it slow to start with. And then you're going to bend on the 14th fret of the G string. This is another bend that doesn't come back down, so you've got this. And it does that twice. You'll notice in the demonstration, I did it quite quick. Doesn't have to be that though. You can do this at any speed and it sounds great. But as soon as you've done that twice, you then do the idea we had from the previous lick again. The bend up and down into the pull off, but the twist here is that you're going to put your finger back onto the 14th fret of the G. Okay, so this one resolves onto that A note. So it's going to be this in total. Lick 7 is going to start on a bend on fret 15 on the B string. And then you're going to play fret 12 on the high E string with your first finger. And it actually does that 3 times like this. And again, this is a similar thing to before where we're bending up to a note. In this case, it's a D bending up to an E. And then that note that you're playing is another E note. That's why this idea works so well. So again, does that 3 times. Then again, we've got that technique of bending up and back down into a pull off. Bit harder this time because we're actually pulling off back 3 frets down to the fret 12. But as soon as you've done that, this one actually ends on another bend. Okay, so in total it's this. And then lick A, again, is quite similar to the previous lick because we're going to bend up on the 15th fret of the B string and play that 12 on the high E string. But then it kind of alternates. It goes to the bend on the 14th fret of the G string and comes back to that E note again. So his first 2 bits are just going to be this. Then yet again, you've got the bend on the 15, back to the 12, and then this is going to be quite a tricky bend as well because bending on the high E string always takes a little bit more sort of power. You've got to bend it a bit higher, but we're going to play that note, push it up, bring it back, and then pull off onto that 12th fret of the high E string. And then this one again is going to bend on that 15th fret of the B string to finish off. So in total, you got this.